Let me go across to Mr. Rashid Alvi of the Congress Party. Sir, good afternoon to you. You know, once the CBI was labelled as a caged parrot, and today it's the Diamond Jubilee celebrations that the Prime Minister has been talking about, saying that everyone has more faith in the autonomous working of the CBI today as its investigations continue.
How does he know that everybody has faith in CBI? It is only he and his party who have faith in CBI. And Amit Shah ji has recently given a statement that when he was in jail or outside the jail, CBI used to put pressure on him. You remember it? It is the same CBI. So how can he is promoting CBI and he is giving indirect message to CBI that whatever you are doing under the pressure of government, country is with you, while the fact is country is not with CBI. Country is not even with Prime Minister.
But the opposition, sir, with the CBI, sir, because that led to multiple of those opposition parties to actually approach the Supreme Court saying that the central agencies are being misused to deliberately target the opposition parties.
All agencies are being misused by this government and everybody knows this. You just go on any street and talk to any common man. He will let you know that what is happening in this country. What Prime Minister says, it is absolutely wrong, it is absolutely baseless. And now 2024 is coming, Prime Minister. You will see yourself that people are not even with you. Why are you talking about CBI?
Okay. Mr. Alvi, he also went on to talk about how corruption was rampant under previous regimes. He's been speaking of that and he says CBI is doing a very good job as far as this fight against corruption is concerned. So directly taking on the UPA rule.
It is laughable. You know, it was BJP who used to make allegations against this Chief Minister of Assam.
Right, sir.
It was some water scammer, something like that.
Right,
Today
sir.
is the Chief Minister.
Sir, let me bring this...
Listen.
Yes, sir.
Mukul Rai, TMC, CBI was investigating against him and he was appointed Vice President of BJP. Even the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, that Chief Minister of Bharatiya Janata Party, Chief Minister of Maharashtra used to say,
right, sir.
Chakki pisega. And then...
So basically that washing machine tag that you have been labeling and have been attacking the BJP often on this very same instance. Mr. Alvi ji, I just request you to stay on with us. We have a BJP voice also. Mr. R.P. Singh is with us here on the broadcast, sir. This is once again, as far as the autonomous working of the CBI is being questioned by the opposition, as far as you just heard Mr. Rashid Alvi making those allegations, what will you say today on the occasion as the Prime Minister has been speaking?
Well, I appreciate the Prime Minister's stand that CBI should go freely against corruption and should not bother with the position of the individual or a person. And they are free to investigate and ensure that all those corrupt are booked. And Mr. Alvi, if you anything which you feel you have a solid ground or have document and evidences, please go to court. You are best of the lawyers in your party. Please approach court and have the case filed. Even Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, case which are under prosecution, was as per the court direction of the Supreme Court.
Okay,
so
just don't limit it to this kind of mudslinging as often is being done by several in the opposition. Thank you, Mr. R.P. Singh, for speaking to us. Let me quickly go across to Shehzad Poonawala, also joining us on the phone line. Shehzad, the Prime Minister clearly taking on the opposition because several in the opposition on multiple occasions have raised their concerns with regards to how what they call is an alleged misuse of agencies being done by the BJP repeatedly. The Prime Minister says corruption was allowed under the previous regimes and we're fighting it. We have the will to fight it today.
First of all, in the last 8.5, 9 years, no agency has been called a caged parrot, which was called a caged parrot during the UP regime. The CBI was called as such. Also, we see the performance of these agencies. They have been working without fear or favor to tackle the issue of corruption. Today, ED has now attached assets and properties and criminal proceeds worth 1 lakh crores. Earlier, it was a paltry 5,000 crores. The fact is that today 96% conviction rate has been achieved by the ED. It has convicted 24 people. The fact is that only 2.5 or 3% of the cases are against MPs and MLAs. So what is this idea of vendetta? Should the agencies not tackle corruption with a free hand? Under the UPA regime, the ED and the CBI were used as caged parrots. They were not allowed to proceed if the political did not allow them. Today they have been given a free hand and all the proceedings are subjected to a court. The court has not granted bail to Satendra Jain.
Shehzad, we're also joined by Mr. Rashid Alvi, and a couple of minutes ago, in fact, he spoke of the likes of Himanta Biswa Sarma and Mukul Roy, and he said once again what the Congress has been saying for the very longest time about the washing machine charge, that you joined the BJP, all the corruption allegations against you are washed off. That's what he'd said a couple of minutes ago. But to respond to what you're saying, Mr. Rashid Alvi, how would you respond to Shehzad Poonawalla?
Alvi ji, can you hear us, sir? All right. I'm told that Mr. Majid Memon is also with us. Sir, what would you say as far as the Prime Minister, talking about corruption in the previous regimes, and as far as now the current situation is concerned, the Prime Minister is lauding the work of the CBI and the work that it has been continuing. Mr. Memon?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, the Prime Minister has said something. What is that? I have not heard it.
He has been talking about saying that corruption is the biggest roadblock to democracy and justice, and it is the CBI's key responsibility to free India from corruption. Also went on to mention how previous regimes and the root cause of corruption were the very reason that they were ousted from power, sir.
I'm sorry, there's something, communication problem is there. Please call me after 5 minutes.
All right, so we'll just reconnect that line with you once again, but we are trying to get as many reactions as possible. This is coming at a time when the Prime Minister today, Shehzad, as you've been listening to the opposition point of view as well, why is that the reason that they had to approach the Supreme Court? Because they have been saying that it is mainly the opposition parties, and the figure has skyrocketed. Today, the figures have gone up to so much that the opposition leaders, they feel, are being deliberately targeted.
First of all, like I was saying, all these cases are put in front of a court, and Satendra Jain, Manish Sisodia, Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Lalu Prasad Yadav, all of them have not got relief from courts. Point number one. Point number two, how does Congress say Satendra Jain's case is perfectly fine, but case against me is not fine? It is not vendetta when it's against Manish Sisodia, it is vendetta against Sonia Gandhi. And thirdly, only 2.98% of ED cases are against politicians. Remaining cases are against non-politicians. But does Congress want, or the opposition wants, that the ED, CBI should not pursue money laundering and corruption? Why? Why do they have such attachment for corruption? I would say कि कैसा है भ्रष्टाचार का जन अधिकार, अगर कार्रवाई हो तो चलेंगे अत्याचार और करेंगे दुराचार. What is the शिष्टाचार?
Okay, if we go by the data, Shehzad, if we talk about 2004 to 2014, the total number of politicians under CBI probe have been 72. Of these, 43 have been from the opposition. So it's not as though opposition leaders were not probed by central agencies in the UPA rule. Tehseen Poonawalla also joining us on the phone line. Tehseen, how would you respond to the Prime Minister's statement today asking the CBI to carry on the good work?
Well, the Prime Minister, I have a lot of respect for him, but these institutions under this present government is completely collapsing. If the Supreme Court and the UPA called the CBI case parrot, today the CBI and the ED are dead parrots. The fact of the matter is, yes, there was misuse of these agencies during the previous government, but the most honorable Prime Minister should have said when he was contesting elections in 2014 that New India would be exactly like old India, and in Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, agencies like ED will be used, where out of 115 odd raids done by the ED, 121 odd raids done by the ED, 115 will be on opposition. He should have made it very clear. He should have said he would go one step further is what the opposition meant. There was an attempt by court and by the UPA then to make these agencies independent. These agencies have moved far away from independence.
No, but Tehseen, the counter that has been coming in from the BJP side saying that thereafter when the CBI or the other investigative agencies make a watertight case, it thereafter goes to the court. And if the court refuses bail, that has also happened in the case of several opposition leaders, then you cannot be raising your voice against the court's directions.
Because the conviction rate of the ED is 0.5%. Why? Why have they not been able to convict people? What did the court say in the case of Sanjay Raut? And the same Honorable Supreme Court, today the BJP is talking
Well,
about...
Shehzad, would you want to respond to what Tehseen has been saying?
Yeah, the audio is very bad, but if you can hear me, the number of convictions by ED between 2004 to 14 was 0. It is 24 now. There is a 96% conviction rate in PMLA matters. This is the fact, Amita. Tehseen Poonawalla says dead parrot. Did any court call the agency dead parrot today? It was called cage parrot by the Supreme Court in the UPA tenure. But Tehseen Poonawalla's opinion doesn't matter. And I'm asking Tehseen Poonawalla, Congress party itself has said action on Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia is perfectly fine. Now will he say that Congress is wrong when it says that the action is fine? Or is it only when it's action on them, then it's fine, and action on us is not fine?
So central agencies acting on the corrupt, perhaps from the Aam Aadmi Party, is fine for the Congress, not against the Congress leaders. Tehseen.
I am very, very categorical. Manish Sisodia should not be in jail. Investigate what you have to investigate. The kind of witch hunt by these agencies needs to stop. What the BJP spokesperson, and you didn't allow me to ask the BJP spokesperson, is, did the most honorable Supreme Court say or no in writing that the tenure of the ED director will not be extended? And yet, suspending 12 members of the opposition, the ED director's tenure was extended. Why, after the Supreme Court judgment, if you all respect courts, did you extend the same ED director's tenure? Are you telling me in this vast, great country of ours, there is no person capable of being the ED director? What is so special in the current ED director that you all overturned the Supreme Court judgment? Tell me when else has the Supreme Court judgment been overturned? In Shah Banu case, and the BJP is rightly criticizing the Congress for that. You overturned the Supreme Court judgment for an ED director, and you all are preaching morality?
All right. Tehseen, I believe if you can please stay on with us. We also have Mr. A. Saravanan also with us here on the broadcast. Mr. Saravanan, what do you make of the allegations that are now being leveled as far as we are looking at multiple opposition parties raising their voice against the CBI and other investigative agencies?
See, it is the BJP which is misusing the CBI. Now, a lot of allegations have been raised against Mr. Adani. The way the Adani group has amassed the kind of ports and all other things. What investigation has the CBI done? They don't even want to have a JPC. The BJP does not want to have a JPC.
Where does the CBI figure in this, Mr. Saravanan? Where does the CBI figure in this? Looking at how the opposition has been stalling the proceedings of Parliament.
Yeah, the CBI figure in this because the CBI ought to have investigated when so much of allegations have been made. But no investigation has been done by the CBI.
The BJP to that says, Mr. Saravanan, why don't you move the courts?
No. See, we can't move the court for each and everything. Then why are the agencies afar?
Then why are the leaders not getting a bail, sir?
What?
Why are the leaders not getting bail, sir?
Leaders, see, that is a different matter. Whether the leaders get bail or not is a different matter. The question is how Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla has been very, very categorical. He has been on the point. How there is in a country of 125 crore people, we don't have one person who is capable of running the CBI or the ED. Why the same person again and again?
No, but given the lack of trust,
care to answer that?
there is clearly, Mr. Saravanan, a lack of trust. As far as the central agencies are concerned, the opposition, most of the opposition clearly does not quite trust the central agencies. And in that case is the question as to why is it that these opposition parties are not taking it to the courts. We also have Lokesh Jindal from the Congress joining us on the phone line. Stay on with us, Mr. Saravanan. Mr. Lokesh Jindal, how would you respond to what the Prime Minister has said? He's lauding CBI. He's saying that the CBI is on the right path. They must continue with their job. And the previous regimes indeed allowed corruption in the open.
First of all, CBI continues to act as an instrument for the party that is ruling at the center. If Prime Minister was indeed really serious about overhauling this institution, he could have reformed the manner in which appointments are being done, security of tenure, avoiding political interference, but nothing of that sort was introduced by the government. And if you look at the manner in which CBI has functioned right from 2014 till now, there is a deliberate targeting of opposition parties, leaders, which are being perceived as a threat by the ruling party. This is not the manner in which CBI is ought to function. In fact, CBI is being lauded, CBI is being praised for performing the task which central government or central ruling political party wants it to perform.
Well, that is the reason why. Do you believe that the CBI was once referred to as a cage parrot, and that also happened from the topmost court of the country? Anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Jindal, for joining us here on the broadcast.